Okay, so happy birthday, Kayla. This is my present for you. If this was a little bit more, I don't know, in the spirit of the way that we do things, I would probably be making this a really ridiculous edited video or like some crazy book or something like that. You know, if you were right here and I had the time and the opportunity to do this with you, this would probably be one of our really awesome creative projects, which I will elaborate on more in a minute. But as you can probably tell, I'm sitting in my car on my lunch hour, so this is the way I'm doing my present to you. And I don't know, it's just silly enough to be so iconically me. I figured I could pull it off. What do you think? Alright, so this is my list of 25 reasons that Kayla is awesome and everybody else just has to deal with it. And so number 25 is, it was surprisingly easy to come up with this list. That's really the funniest part about it, I think, is it fell out of my face. I had the idea and it took me no time at all. It was kind of funny. So, I easily could have kept going and thought of a lot more than 25 ways that you're awesome, but, it was just cracking me up that I felt like even that had to make the list was just how simple it was to do this, and because, yeah, you're amazing. So, alright, so, number 24, you're adorable. Your hair is always cute, and you're always dressed really cute, and I love your dresses and all of this, and so that was totally one that I had to put on there, because I was like, oh, she's got style. It's number 24. Number 23, she plays a bunch of instruments. She's totally a band geek. That's fantastic to me. Anybody who can rock the French horn is awesome. I mean, let's face it, that means she wins. Number 22, she has cool cats. Unfortunately, Ike and Mamie are no longer in the picture, but, you know, when they were freaking awesome. And I think that has a whole lot to do with, actually, Kayla, you. Especially because their names are Ike and Mamie. That's the funny thing, is I remember, like, Ike is just a hilarious name, and then I actually remember you and I saying, like, going and looking up Eisenhower's wife's name so that we could name the girl cat we were about to get. 21, your June birthday. That's fantastic. I mean, everyone on this planet, I swear, I would not be surprised if June birthdays are just more common, because that certainly seems to be the way it is in my life. I feel like everyone I know is a June birthday, but that just makes you more awesome, I guess, because I'm a June birthday, and so that's just one of those that it's like, you know, for all the crap that you guys give me about not actually being a Gemini, ooh, it's so cool that you're actually in June, so yeah, we have something in common. Number 20, oh, I couldn't read my own handwriting. You played Settlers, like, way before any of the rest of us. That totally makes you more awesome than we are, because you hopped on the bandwagon of a really awesome, really fun game, and were even telling us about it. I remember you saying, like, oh yeah, I think Kayla plays this game and says it's amazing, and it totally was. So, frankly, not only are you cool, you're cooler before any of the rest of us are. Number 19, she makes friends over a plate of spaghetti. That is so fantastic, and I guess that makes Andrea pretty awesome too, because that's totally the way that this went down. For people who don't know the story, and if I totally failed in getting this wrong, I don't know, but at orientation at UNC, they were getting spaghetti and started making jokes, and so Andrea, mad props for getting Kayla to come hang out with all of the rest of us, and awesome job, you two, and just, like, bantering and being amazing people that you're like, yeah, we should be friends, and no, we are. Number 18 was totally one of my favorites, is that you're super pro at just, like, random road trips. for how many that we actually were like, let's go here, let's do this, let's hop in the car and have fun. Deep conversations, like singing to songs. The time that we were singing along to the Alanis Morissette song, and we kept restarting it every time we screwed up the lyrics. Brilliant. That is the funniest thing to me. I probably still don't know all the lyrics to that song, and maybe both of us are failing if that's the case, because next time we hang out, we need to be able to just throw that song on and know it down pat. You would think that would have been the result of actually like restarting it over and over again, but I think all we accomplished to do was memorize the first line perfectly and none of the rest of the song. So then let's see. Oh, number 17, she makes beautiful babies. Oh my gosh, I love Dax so much. He's so freaking cute. That kid, I like, some of my absolute favorite pictures of even all of the children in my life just come from like how beautiful that child is. Like, he's the one where he's holding the flower in his little sweater and he's sitting on the bright green grass. Like, that picture makes me happy beyond belief, and he's just adorable. And so congratulations on having good genes. Number 16 totally ties in with that. Kayla's a good mom. You're adorable with Dax, and I think you do a really good job with just making him awesome, and I think he's going to be fantastic because you are. 15, really good taste in TV shows. Yeah, I would have to say that one, it's the fact that it's only number 15 is kind of like, really? That should be way higher on the list, but you'll see why, because some of the others are even better. Number 15, having great taste in TV shows. Supernatural! That one is classic. It actually comes up in some of these other numbers. Avatar! And no, I'm not talking about the crappy movie. I'm talking, but yeah, I'm sorry, I wasn't a big fan. I'm talking about The Last Airbender, because frankly, that's a way better Avatar, and people need to deal with that, too. Yeah. So, just all of these things that we'd TV was like a part of our lives. Tough Love, I mean, come on. That show is just hilarious, and I don't know, watching it is fantastic, but watching it with you and, like, crying over these women and being total girls about all of this madness was just fantastic. Yeah, those are good times, good memories, watching marathons of Tough Love. Number 14, excellent fort construction. Yeah, the fact that in every apartment we lived in, we created a fort. Oh, and I just realized one of them that I was going to put on the list that probably needs to go in this as well is igloo construction. Boom. The fact that anyone can put igloo construction on a list of how awesome they are, you know, like, that's the whole list. She built an igloo. Yeah, and Paul, well done. I know you were a part of that. Frankly, I just got to reap the benefits of that. I really had very, very little to do with that thing. I had to work, okay? As much as they try and actually hold it against me, which is so not fair, I had to work from home while we were doing in the middle of a huge blizzard. So Paul and Kayla went and built an igloo in the backyard, and it was fantastic. And that house, in every apartment we had since then, we would build forts. Kayla and I built a fort in Greeley. I don't think there was any apartment where we didn't build a fort. And the best one was in the last apartment that we lived in together, where it was a permanent fort that just stayed in the living room. That was amazing, and where we watched all of our TV. Okay, now see, I had to put these in order of having TV, building forts, and then what number 13 is, because this one cracks me up. Yes, we watched awesome TV shows, and we happened to be watching Supernatural this particular night. Number 14, we were in the permanent fort when this happened. And I swear, I tell this story so much because it's just It's so stupid, but it's so funny to me. And it's so simple, but it's like subtly brilliant. And that subtle brilliance is number 13. That your weapon of choice is a pencil. Might have been a pen. But a writing utensil was your weapon of choice in this moment. Now, what happened is we were watching Supernatural in our permanent fort. We had one door which kind of opened up outside to one side of the building, and then we had a back door that was closer to the bedrooms down a hallway, and that kind of led up also from the outside, but more like the garage area. No one ever really came in that way, and that was what kind of made this even weirder. We were sitting in the fort, and the back door opened, and of course we're watching a scary show, and I remember Kayla and I both looked at each other and went and reached to grab for weapons as we went back to check what the noise was. And the weapons that we had in our hands, that we only then realized after, like, okay, no, there's nothing here, must have been the wind, okay, that was weird, and then when we calmed down for a minute and actually had a moment to think about what we had just done in fight or flight mode, was our fight caused me to grab an IBC root beer bottle, and Kayla to grab a pencil. And why we felt that, a bottle would be the perfect bludgeoning instrument, and how messed up it is that a pencil was the ideal, the ideal writing, or excuse me, the ideal piercing tool. I don't know, Kayla, that just makes us awesome. That's why I had to make number 13 on the list. Alright, number 12. Frankly, when it comes to hunting kittens, no one compares. There is no comparison for how awesome Kayla is at hunting kittens. And no, not for meat. Really not for sport either. It was like a conservation effort. We were trying to save the kittens in the alley. Never successful. We came really close. That poor kitten, we came really close. And I actually know someone who employed similar methods to save a stray alley cat, and they succeeded. But I'll tell you why they are still not as awesome at kitten hunting as Kayla is. Because we had secret codes. We knew that when someone came up to the door and they rang the doorbell, that was just like, oh hey, pizza guy. But if someone came up to the front door and went bing, 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 we all grabbed everything we knew. We had like an action plan for going out and trying to grab kittens out of the alley so that we could save them from dying in the alleyway. Awesome. Number 11, she can cook. That was like the Tuesday night dinners were just freaking fantastic, and those were always so much fun. I remember like very specifically the one that we did when we were all sitting in the kitchen, and it was like the first time I'd ever seen a pomegranate. So I sat there playing with the pomegranate seeds, and Kayla made like some really awesome dinner. And of course the greatest cooking thing that ever happened was pie soup. Totally a mistake. Kayla made a pie and it came out as like fruit soup. And between Paul, Kayla, and I, we ate the whole thing. And that became a recreated mistake that was like just as delicious the second time. But yeah, well done. Oh, yes. See, this is the reason that things like this make it higher on the list than even some of the more awesome ones I already listed. Number 10, she's super creative. Like, I didn't realize I was a creative person until I really hung out with Kayla and lived with Kayla and just experienced all of this awesomeness. Because, just everything you would ever want to imagine, like, even just the common stuff. She's musical, she's, draws, paints, sews, crochets, cross stitches, all of that stuff. And then you start adding on things like gingerbread houses and carving pumpkins and writing board games, and oh my gosh, it's just so much fun that I have gotten the opportunity to ride the coattails of this awesomeness, because that's made my life 10 times more awesome. number 9, totally tacked on top of that, but of course had to be higher on the list, is that those creative projects are balls to the wall crazy. Kayla and I could not start anything without just making it insane. Like, when I say we carved pumpkins, we tried to do those really intricate carvings of like people's faces, and where you'd almost be like carving into a piece of wood rather than actually cutting out the holes of a pumpkin. That's how awesome we tried to be with pumpkin carving. When we made gingerbread houses, we made it a Food Network challenge that we built Big Ben and the Taj Mahal. We did, when we actually wanted to do a murder mystery party, we didn't go out and buy one or look one up on the internet. We wrote our own. And despite the fact that it had some hiccups, we did amazing for how ridiculous that idea really is, of going and writing your own thing. Like, devoting that much time to that was fantastic, and I still want to keep working on our board game. Let's see. Number 8. See, and this one was kind of painful to write. But it is true, because it makes you awesome, and actually really plays into one that is even higher on the list, which I think is really funny. Number 8. Even though she moved away, I can't hold it against her too much, because she moved to one of my favorite places on Earth. That's a major score. It was like... And when another friend, Andrea, did the same thing, that was like, wow, well done, you guys win props on that one, because getting to come and visit just makes that 10 times more awesome. And, I'm sorry, but Paul, you kind of failed, because I have no desire towards LA ever in my life, so, the benefit of LA is like, oh, hey, Paul's there. Before that, I'm like, yeah, I like movies. Not a place I ever wanted to go. Seattle, on the other hand, freaking awesome. So, Kayla, you're losing points a little bit. You know what I'm talking about, but frankly, that had to be on the list, because even though you're not here, you're in a really cool place, so that makes you an awesome person. Number 7. She's best friend soulmates with my best friend, which adds this whole level of being that much cooler to that relationship. Because, sure, I have tons of friends that I'm really close to, and that I'm really close to Kayla, and then when they meet, they hang out, they have fun, that's cool, whatever. But when I brought Paul to come hang out with Kayla, that was like the best night of my life. Like, I don't know, I mean, I don't know, I've had some pretty awesome days, so I don't know if I can say the best night of my life, but seriously, wasn't that not the best night of your life? I know for Paul and Kayla, we had so much fun hanging out and actually realizing that you guys were best friends, soulmates, that, that was just fantastic. I don't know, having one friend that I was already super close to, like Paul, and being super close to Kayla, getting them in the same room together and having them be super close, has made the last, 7 years of my life just, yes, so awesome. Number 6 totally, again, plays into that night. She whooped our butts in the Olympics. Go watch the videos, they're on Facebook. My first run through the obstacle course that we set up while we're balancing tea candles on our head was, I think I clocked in at like a minute 28, something like that. Paul did like a minute 14, I don't know. We were going super slow. The funny thing about this is I think we originally allotted ourselves 12 minutes to finish this obstacle course. Just so stupid. I don't even know what we were thinking. But then that we actually got through it really quickly, and it became not finishing it within a time, but of course then just became how fast we could do it, because Kayla set the bar so high, went in and did, I think, like 47 seconds. It was stupid. She knocked like 40 seconds off of my original time. Which is so terrible, it's hilarious. And, of course, when he actually went on through the whole thing, we all started to realize, oh, we can actually go that fast, and we got much faster and much better at it as we went on. But then the funny part, I think Kayla actually won the whole thing. I'd have to go check the times again, but she won the Olympics, so, yeah. And, number 5, I just, I have to throw in some inside jokes a little bit here, but hanging out with Norbert and Angela Lansbury, naming Angela Lansbury was so funny. Just sitting in my room in the dark listening to Disney music that night. Like, I can picture that so well. It's so funny to me to think about that. And Burl and all those guys that, yeah, those good times, especially in our old apartment, in my freezing cold room. Yes, talking about the old apartment, this one, I just thought of this moment, and as I was ordering all of these on my list, I thought, this one makes Kayla so awesome. It really does deserve to be number 4 on the list of 25 reasons that you're amazing. Kayla made Dart fish for cookies. Now, this also wins Dart total awesome points for doing this, because there are so many people that would have been like, yeah, whatever, and just went over and grabbed the cookies. What happened, if I'm remembering this correctly, was there were cookies on the counter, and the way our apartment was set up was that there was the living room in the middle, and the kitchen kind of in this little strip on the one side of the apartment, and then on either side of the main living room was Kayla's room and my room, and then on the opposite side of the apartment was Dart's room and just an empty room there. And so Kayla and I are standing on the one side in our little tucked away hallway that led to the bedrooms, and Dart is standing on his side, and as he went out to go get cookies, Kayla told him that he couldn't pass the threshold of the little tiny box hallway that led to the bedrooms. And so Dart went into his room, grabbed a basket and a clothes basket and a belt, and he pushed the clothes basket onto the linoleum of the little kitchen area. I think even tied like a shoestring to a clothes hanger, and then he threw the clothes hanger, knocked the cookies into the clothes basket, and then he used the belt and the hanger to pull the things back in over to his side of the apartment. It was one of the most brilliant things I've ever seen. It was just awesome. And the fact that Kayla was like, no, you can't leave. You have to figure out a different way to get the cookies. Totally makes that moment number 4 on this list. Number 3, I just had to put this down as she put up with me for years. Oh my gosh, we went through some crap. But it's inevitable, and I don't even care. It's funny to me, and I think it's awesome that we're more awesome for just, like, having miscommunication, epic fails, and, oh my gosh, just for stupid stuff that I'm like, wow, I was a tool. So, that's my slightly sentimental one there, Kayla, is like, thanks for putting up with me, because, even just in this video, like, my hair's done and I'm wearing pink. I think that has a lot to do with you. I never, ever, ever did that when we were living together, and so, I don't know, it's just funny to me that, I've changed, and you had a lot to do with that, and I don't know, the fact that you were like always pushing me to just be like, no, you can be this person, and you can, you know, think about yourself this way, and just all those little encouragements to get me through so much crap. And oh my gosh, listening to me complain about certain things for a long time and then not allowing me to do it anymore is just, you're an awesome friend. So that had to be number 3 on the list, because I love you. Number 2, all of these things that I have just gone through totally makes her better than Paul. Sorry, it had to be number 2. Because Paul's cool, but he's not this awesome. I don't know. I might be able to come up with 25 reasons that Paul is awesome, but I don't know. It may not be possible, because he's not as awesome as Kayla. All of these things have proven that. And, I don't know. I like him, I guess, but, it's just not the same. It's not the same. She's the Tweedledee to my Tweedledum, and, there's nothing you can do to change that. So, sorry. Bummer for Paul, but, Kayla's more awesome than you. And number 1, absolute, and I know that she'll agree with me on this one, Kayla, the absolute number 1 reason that you are awesome and way cooler than everybody else, and they all just have to deal with it at that point. The absolute number 1 reason that you're awesome, you're taller than me. Not much more I can say. That is the number 1 reason that you're awesome. You're taller than me. Such a good memory. Oh my gosh. All of these were. I had so much fun coming up with this list. Makes me miss you so much. But I love you. And I really, yeah, I've loved being one of your best friends, and I'm so glad that you're one of mine. And so have a good day. Happy birthday. There is your ridiculously long video of me talking about why you're amazing. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you later.